While health insurance isn't a specialty my team provides in-house, it is important for your financial plan. It tends to be hard to invest if you have a large medical bill coming in the mail that wasn't really planned for. Hi, I'm Corey Anderson, and today I have Shari Daniels, a registered nurse and the founder of Gypsy Insurance Solutions. Shari, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and allow the travelers to get to know you?
Hi, Corey. Thank you for having me this morning. And hello to all the travelers out there. As Corey had mentioned, I am a registered nurse. I have worked in labor and delivery for the past 10 years. Prior to that, in my former life, sold health insurance for many, many years, and over 30, as much as I hate to admit that. I got to the point where my youngest graduated, went off to college, and thought, this is it. It's my time to travel. And the second I looked at traveling, I noticed immediately that health insurance is a huge issue. And I kind of took 2 steps back and said, maybe I'm supposed to use my health insurance knowledge to help other travelers versus me actually becoming a traveler at this point in time. So about 5 or 6 years ago, I founded Gypsy Insurance Solutions. I have been to the last 3 TravCon conventions. I spoke at last year's convention, and I do consider myself, if not an expert in options for travelers for their health insurance, I certainly know where to go to get all the right answers.
So you have a specific focus on travel nurses just like we do. What % of your business is made up of the travel nurse community?
Well over 95, probably pushing 100%.
Wow.
Yeah,
so why is it so?
All of my efforts.
Yeah, exactly. Why is it so challenging for travel nurses to get health insurance?
For a few reasons. First of all, most nurses are coming out of what I'll call corporate America. You've been working for a hospital, and the beauty of corporate America, for lack of a better term, is benefits are provided. And we all know some of the hospitals out there have fantastic benefits, and some are better than others, but it's a benefit of being an employee. And you're used to that, and you're used to how those plans work and what they cover. What a lot of people don't realize, a lot of people just look at how much they pay out of their check every month, and they don't realize that the employer is paying double, triple, sometimes quadruple what they're paying. So those type of benefits are very, very expensive. I'm in Florida, and I know from me and my husband, if we were to pay for that insurance on our own, it's over $1,400 a month. Meanwhile, it's only $187 a pay period. So $187 a pay period is easy to swallow. $1,400 a month is not so easy. So when you decide to step away from working as a staff employee and go to traveling, you're unfortunately leaving that behind you. And now you're in the world of what I call the self-employed. You have to provide your own health insurance. And the options are limited. You could take insurance through your travel company, which for some people is the perfect option. Actually, everything I'm discussing has its place, and there's no one perfect insurance plan for everyone. So through your travel company, you kind of get those corporate benefits again. They may cost more, they may cost less. The problem is every time you change contracts, you lose your insurance and have to start over again if you switch companies. And a lot of travelers do like to, especially in recent times, go after the big dollars. So if you're going after the big dollar contracts, you may be going from travel company A to travel company B to travel company C. And then maybe December rolls around and you decide, I really want to spend the holidays with my family, and you don't take a contract. So now you've changed insurance 3 times in a year, and you've had gaps in your coverage. Again, still, it's the perfect option for some people. I apologize. I live right near an Air Force base, so there goes a helicopter. Option 2, if you're lucky enough and you can get insurance through your spouse, awesome. If it's a reasonable price, that is probably your best option. Again, it's corporate America insurance. There are consortiums. A lot of people have heard of MediShare. That's for basically Christians to come together and pool their risk and get health insurance. Those are good options for some as well. And then there's Obamacare. And as much as a lot of people frown on it, and yes, if you're making the kind of money you should be making as a travel health professional, I don't just deal with nurses, so travel health professional, you're going to pay full price for Obamacare, which you're back in that $1,400 a month range again with a higher deductible. So for some people, what I do is the best option. It's private market insurance. The downside, pre-existing conditions. All private market insurance goes through underwriting. So if you have major pre-existing conditions, you could still be denied the coverage. Regardless, even if you're approved for the coverage, for the first 12 months, your pre-existing conditions will not be covered. Now, for some things, that's really no big deal. Hypothyroid. Most people take their Synthroid every day, get their labs drawn once or twice a year. If you had to cover that out of your own pocket and the price is all lined up right on everything else, that's not a big deal. Diabetes, that's a big deal. Epilepsy, big deal. These are things you would not want to go 12 months without coverage for. So I just speak with each one of you individually and try to help you figure out what the best option is for you and your family.
It's refreshing to hear somebody in the insurance industry understand that not everything is a one size fits all, because we see that day in and day out with Personal Wealth Solutions and the financial advising that the team is offering.
I agree completely. There is no one size fits all really with any product. I mean, we've all tried one size fits all clothing and we know how well that goes. I like to sit with my clients and look at the big picture. So insurance is just a piece of the puzzle. Finances with Corey, also a big piece of the puzzle. So we're going to look at different options for insurance. And even though you may be leaning toward the better, more inclusive option, I may try to steer you towards something where you save a few $100s a month on your premium, invest it, and end up ahead of the game in the big picture. But again, it's all done on an individual basis.
Well, and like Shari mentioned, that $200, it doesn't really sound like a lot, but when we run your cash flow statements and everything like that to really see what's coming in, what's going out, that makes a difference, especially in some months where the contracts aren't as big, or you have to take off time to take care of some family matters. It makes a big difference in planning how your life is going to look financially.
I agree completely, and even brings up the fact that I don't just look at health insurance when I speak to my clients. I also look at the ancillary products. I mean, everybody thinks of dental insurance and maybe accident insurance or a cancer plan or disability. I offer all of that. But to me, a very critical component that I offer is I offer a life insurance product with a living benefit. And again, it's not right for everyone, but it speaks to exactly what Corey was speaking to. We don't know what life is going to throw at us. I always tell my clients, if you had a crystal ball or a personal promise in writing from God that for the next 24 months, you are not going to spend more than $2,000 a year on health issues, why would you buy health insurance? You'd be better off putting all your money with Corey. We don't get those letters. We don't get those promises. The living benefit on the life insurance says that if you have a critical, terminal, or chronic illness, you could tap into 80% of the face value while you need it. So hopefully you have some money that you've invested with Corey to live off of, but wouldn't it be nice to know that if you bought a $100,000 life insurance policy, you have $80,000 available to you should you need it in an emergency, or if you get diagnosed with critical, chronic, or terminal illness?
Well, and I think that's a really important thing that everybody needs to understand, not only those in the travel medical community, but just in general. Insurance is used to protect you. Investments are used to grow. Those are two separate things. You can't use one for one thing and one for the other.
100% correct. 100% correct. And people have forgotten that the basics of insurance is it is supposed to protect you against the unknown, unexpected. If you plan it right, you could budget for the everyday things. If you know you take Synthroid again and you know it costs $10 a month, you could budget for that. You could budget for your 2 blood tests every year. You cannot budget. It's hard to budget for cancer, stroke, heart attack. So those are the things you need the insurance for, to help you in case of that catastrophic illness that came at you like an oncoming train and there was not a thing you could do to stop it.
Yeah. So in our previous discussions, you've mentioned that travel nurses rarely qualify for health savings accounts or HSA accounts. This is a detriment to some of the tax planning that non-travelers would have access to. But could you explain some of their options that they qualify for and the benefits of these different plans?
Right. First off, many of your travel companies will offer high deductible insurance plans with a health savings account as an option. And I always recommend that you look into that to see if it's a viable option for you and your family. If it's not, if you decide to go the private market route and know that you have your own health insurance 24/7, 365, you don't have to worry about gaps between contracts. You don't have to worry about taking time off. You don't have to worry about changing contracts 3 to 4 times a year. There is something called a health matching account. It is similar to an HSA in that the money you put into it can only be used for medical expenses. You get that same credit card you can swipe at the doctor or the pharmacy to pay for your bills. It is different in that there are no tax benefits, no tax breaks, nothing. The money you put in is not tax deductible. However, the money you put in does grow at an incredible rate. Actually, after 35 months, that money will be double. So for instance, if you put, I think it's $4,900 in over 35 months, at the end of 35 months, you'll have $10,000 to spend on medical. That's $5,100 extra in your account. So that's a health matching account. Is it right for everyone? Again, we have to know your circumstances, but it is always nice to know that you have either tax benefited health savings account money put aside, or maybe a health matching account set up so that if you do get hit with that catastrophic illness, you've got that money set aside to pay for it.
So we will both be attending TravCon this September.
Right.
Since this is your third TravCon, what are some tips that you have for the nurses coming this year?
First and foremost, come. If you haven't bought your ticket, buy it. I can't think of anything. If I was going to step into the travel world, this would be my first step. There's the newbie convention on Sunday. So if you can make it to that newbie convention, and this is, if you're fairly new, you don't even need to be brand new. Maybe you've done 2 or 3 contracts, definitely worth going to. And then download the schedule or the app prior to going, figure out which of the different conferences, sessions, breakout sessions, I guess is the right term, you would like to attend, and kind of have that pre-planned. Take the middle time to go see all the exhibitors. There are well over, I think this year there's over 130 exhibitors, like to the point where I know Corey is inside the exhibit hall. I'm actually in the lobby at booth 13, but that's okay. Go see everybody, especially star the ones you know you want to see. So if you know you 100% want to meet with Aya Healthcare, circle where their booth is. Be prepared, be ready. Bring extra luggage. The swag is unbelievable. Not from my booth, unfortunately, but the travel companies give away amazing swag. Bring a bathing suit. There's pool parties all weekend. If you have not already followed TravCon on Facebook, do so. Also follow the unofficial TravCon page. It has all the parties listed. And just come prepared to learn, meet new friends, maybe meet new travel buddies, and come back with a ton of knowledge and have a great, great time. The event, the food, don't even think you have to go out for breakfast or lunch. You're going to be shocked at how great that buffet is. And just come have fun and take the time to get to see everyone you want. And certainly, it's very hard for me to speak to you one-on-one or Corey to speak to you one-on-one at the show. Make sure you let us know that you would like, we could set up a time to speak with you the week you get back or whenever. Just let us know you'd like to meet with us. And then we could take that one-on-one time with you to discuss our services and do that with everyone at the show that you really want to hear from.
Yeah, I think that that's tremendous. And just really understanding that, you don't have to speak with everyone, but if there is someone in specific that you really want to talk about their services, schedule a Zoom call. Everybody knows how to do it now. So, I think that's really important because sometimes when booths get busy or, you're running late on time between sessions, it just feels really tight and you don't really have enough time to really say what you want to say or get the answers that you really need. So just always remember that you have that ability to just schedule out a meeting.
And we'll all be happy to show up early or stay late or do whatever it is to talk to you, because that's why we're at TravCon. Every year somebody comes up to my booth as we're breaking down and says, I wish I had had a chance to talk to you. And obviously I talk to them, but just try to schedule out, at least highlight the ones that are important for you to see. 90% of the booths there, I'm guessing, are the travel companies. Figure out which ones specialize in your field, go see those, and try to see the ancillary businesses, the health insurances, the financial planning, the RV travel companies, the tax preparers. Go see all of those ancillary, the housing people, because those are the ones that are harder to find when you're back home.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Shari, thank you for sharing your experience with us today. I look forward to seeing you at TravCon this year, as well as many of the travel nurses watching this. If you'd like to talk more about your insurance or how it affects your financials, follow the link below. We'll have Shari's website as well as mine. And as always, we come to you for personal health solutions, so come to us for personal wealth solutions.